pick, still banning out the Fanny. Now Corinthians banning out that Yeast and Shin.
Yeah.
They might just go for the seam bans unless someone is feeling a bit frisky and letting go of the Arlet or the Phoveus.
I don't think we're going to see that, but yes.
I don't think as well. I don't think.
I think for Mythic... Oh, Forza, they are leaving it open for now, Phoveus and Arlet. Hopefully we get to see it because it's been banned a bit too much. For some reason, when we start casting, we don't get to see these fun heroes, so I would love to see...
Maybe we should be casting.
Oh, man.
I don't know, translating or something? Oh, that could be an option.
That could be an option.
Could be an option. 1-1 getting banned out, so unless those are the final 2 bans, because hey, MythicSeal could just have a throwaway ban so that they can have either or, right? Pick up the Arler or the Phoveus.
Phoveus, Jusin, even...
Now, is it as prio as first pick? Now, that's the question, right?
But there have been teams who like pick it up.
They won with first pick Phoveus for first pick Arlet?
Maybe not.
I feel like this is the thing about EXP, is that you first pick Phoveus, you feel good, and then you see a CC, and then you're like, oh no.
Yeah, and if they take it out here, that's too obvious. So like, maybe
see,
not.
They might be risking it. Hey, the name of the game is if you want to win, you got to take some risks, right? So betting out the Kimi. Personally, for me, I wouldn't ban either Arler or Phoveus. Just let them both go, and then see what we get.
So the Uranus wasn't banned earlier too, right? Like it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was snubbed. It was
Yeah.
snubbed.
I think we can ignore the Uranus at this point of the game. I think right now, yeah, like what Lafel said about Corinthians, leave the Arlet Phoveus open and then trade. If MythicSeal go for the Phoveus, you go for a Fredgen Arlet.
Yep.
Never mind. They
Oh, but
banned
they
the
banned.
Arlet.
Now here's the thing: if they don't pick up the Phoveus, they can pick it up.
Yeah. 1/1.
And if they do, and they pick the Lancelot again, that's
I feel like Kalia is still an okay first pick.
Yeah.
Jushin.
So they pick up the Jushin.
Okay. So now it's Corinthians who can go for the Phoveus plus.
Phoveus plus either the gold.
They could just go Phoveus Lance too,
Yeah,
by
the
the way.
Lance.
Lance
I
was
don't-
amazing
I
last
don't
game.
mind Lance, yeah.
Because like I was thinking, then you'll have less to worry about if you already have the Phoveus, and the Flick performs the same way
Oh, yeah.
on the Lancelot.
Hey, he made a game-winning play, so I'm perfectly fine with Phoveus Lance, because you know if you're not gonna, unless they want to give it over to MythicSeal and then just pick up a CC.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a Granger. So it's already different to what we
Ah,
expected,
not
but the
the
Lancelot
Phoveus.
comes through. Now, I would say for MythicSeal, this is a proper game to set up for a Phoveus, right? With the amount of dashes the Lancelot has. We were talking about the unlimited dashes for Flick. Punish it with the Phoveus. But you will be punished by the CC. You can evade from it. There is a way for you to just last hit, stay alive in lane, and then Turtle 1.
They might feel better about picking the Joy 2 here in this spot if they want to go for that again, because they'll have the Phoveus and they won't reveal much yet. Not unless.
Because right now, they do pick up the Joy as well as the Phoveus. Now, Mirko, this is my concern, is that we talked about this before the game started, which is Zippy doesn't usually win the lane unless he's on something like a Granger, right? I remember even the game with Irrital, it honestly doesn't look all that great, and I feel like he went for something like a carry. I don't know if he will go for that. I feel like it should be a CC here, and then just ban out either the gold laners or the roams.
For me, I'm thinking a different route to counter the Phoveus and the Joy. I'm thinking Gatot and Edith, but yeah, they will go for the CC, so they will go for the damage route, but this could be very greedy from them. You already have a Granger and the Lancelot who need a lot of resources early, and this is also, you're kind of forced to go for a damage mid. So that's going to be 4 very resource-heavy picks.
I feel like something, this is not super damaging, but still okay. The Zetian is open, and if you don't want that, as long as there's no like very long-range heroes, and honestly not too bad just to pick up something like a Valentina. Like I feel like there's still options for Corinthians.
Crimson Beacon?
That can be an option. Although now, I'm kind of convinced about the idea that this might be a little tricky for Corinthians if it especially reaches a point wherein they don't get the best possible sequence in their fights. Although the way that they play is very aggressive, so I wouldn't be surprised if they still take on the fights with this lineup.
I like that they're betting out all these catching heroes, the Cho as well as the Kalia, because we saw there were moments that maybe the Lancelot could have been punished. So I like that they take that away.
And it's not just Lancelot, but the CC too, right? We got to remember that CC does get countered hard by crowd control.
Yep.
You need to bring Vengeance most of the time, so if there's a big pick-off hero like a Kalei or Cho, you're in some big trouble. Here, though, the Corinthians, I think the Eve is still a good pick that they can go for. I mean, right now they have a really good composition to play pure front to back. With the CC just holding ground, if he plays it in the way where it's just in front of the Granger and Eve, even with the Joy jumping in, you can just curtain collar, and then Eve and Granger will do the rest. Got the bend.
Eve was like one of the heroes least used by Nico, or no, not by Nico.
Frostlanevi?
Frostlanevi, I think, or not at all. Like
People can
hasn't
change.
been much recent, but people change.
People can change. People can change.
So maybe they can opt for that if they do want a bit more control in the team fight, since it looks like they're actually going for that.
Zetian.
But
Safe choice. The global, but yeah, I mean, with the passive too, it's great, but I think it could be baited very easily. Everybody wants to be in front of your face here. Everybody wants to dive. So once someone does bait it out, it should be an easy road for the Joy to just walk up.
Which should be, honestly, I kind of feel like the Joy. I think the Joy can even, do that job. Now picking on the Badang as well as the Moskov. I think he did have a good Moskov game back in the grand finals. But now for Corinthians, if you have one more hero that can potentially counter this Joy, I don't like the Tigro, but something like that, something that when the Joy comes in, you're able to counter, that could be good because you just play with the habit of Ken. He likes to go in and try to get a trade.
This could also be, like, it's strange, but the Belleric XP with the Phoveus and Joy jumping on you could just be a way to take both of those heroes out of the pool.
oh, for Luis, Joy.
Good. I mean, still, same kind of idea, right? Someone goes in, you counter it, and then this kind of solves the problem that Zetian doesn't have that much damage,
You
right?
just burst him down.
Exactly.
You have help.
So they have options here. Now, Corinthians, they got a pretty good draft here. And this time,
I agree.
looking at MythicSeal, they're not going too local, right? They're making sure that there's logic, there's fallbacks. If something goes wrong, there's a backup plan. So now I'm going to give it over to you guys. We got to see if MythicSeal is able to redeem themselves and push us to a game 3, or Corinthians, they show up and start day 1 with a 2-0.
Can MythicSeal bounce back? That's a big question here. Thank you, LaFell. Here with Mirko and Brigida to bring you game number 2 of what can be the upset of the day. We've been throwing out the upset word the whole day, but this could be it. Corinthians with a solid shot as Natan once again flies over to Lanadon for us to join him. Here, Ken and Flick on the same heroes. It's the Joy up against the Lancelot.
Yep, the Jawhead. It excites me to see that we're finally gonna see another Jawhead back here in MSC, and the way it can just potentially be the source of surprise and set up here for Corinthians, because it suits their playstyle so well. Like Luis and Jesus, so long as they just don't get too far away. Oh, that's the cute passive.
Cute, very cute.
I mean, it bounces like.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem, by the way, for MythicSeal. If they go Badang, that's why I wasn't really too big of a fan of the Badang. You go in, you get bounced back. Oh, that's actually a win for Corinthians.
One hit is all they need to get the kill onto Boye, but still, he's able to walk out. And imagine not even using the flicker during that moment. He was just too confident that he wouldn't fall down.
Patient. Oh man, Rhapsody shots.
Okay, he might have to go home now because Flick is nearby, uses the Thorn. Oh! But yet again, Corinthians, for the second time in a row, lacking just a single hit to secure first blood.
But it's still worth it. You bait out Flicker for Retry. I'll take it any day. Considering, again, that Retry will be up by the time the turtle spawns in the game. So they really don't lose anything for making that play happen. Great moves from Zippy to stay alive, but it is still Corinthians who have the lead. And it's probably safe to say that Upa is going to win this lane even harder now.
Oh, Thorn Rose doesn't connect onto Nico. But you can see how well Corinthians are actually controlling the river side in this game so far. They're not allowing MythicSeals to be the ones to set things up. Curtain Call was already used onto Kun, by the way. So that's an ultimate already down for Corinthians, but they still might want to go for this nonetheless. Louise flickers in, decides to go for Kun. Is that the right decision though? Fury of the Phoenix also committed as well. SOD will not land onto anyone just yet. And look at the sustain coming in from Kun. Actually takes down Louise instead, even though he was the one who tried to set things up first.
But it's Louise for Kun, worth it for Corinthians, especially because they're going to get this turtle for free. Ken is nowhere near, and Boye cannot get that fist fast enough. Zippy, though, actually finds a pretty good trade. Upa staying a bit too long, I would say, around the turtle, and that gives MythicSeal at least something to trade back with.
Yeah, this isn't that smooth of a start for Ken, though, if you were to compare it to the previous game, wherein it felt like he was just on track, on timing when he was trying to secure his farm. So far, it feels like they're doing a great job at denying him of that. Even just when he wanted to take that Little Wanderer, you could see how Luis makes his presence felt, and now even Flick.
Yeah. I really like this build, by the way, from Frost La Neve. The tenacity with the Inspire here. It's safe, and that's all you need to do technically in this game, right? You're just playing in the back line with Upatizi. You're acting as a sort of peel with your passive. So whenever you're around Upatizi, anyone who walks up and initiates will be thrown back so far away, and it will give safety for everyone in the back line. So now it's a slow game, as expected here with these two drafts. It really comes down to trades, especially with the Moskov picked up and no Irithel. Waiting for the next neutral objective, 45 seconds.
It's been very, very slow if it's just that. They tried to go for Hesu though, force out the Vengeance and Curtain Call. I don't know if that'll be much because he still has quite some time to wait for that cooldowns before the next objective. But Corinthians, it seems like they're planning to go for something else. It's not Boye actually. Flix finds Nico and tries to go for him instead. But because of that disconnect, it seems like Louise will get punished now. There was a change of target, and that might not have been the best decision.
They got confused, and Kun is now the one winning lane. That is winning by that much is interesting, dude. Like, look at Kun zoning Hesu completely away, and this should be a free turtle over with Hesu being so low, but at least... Never mind, I thought it was going to be a trade. Opa! Almost.
They've been here for like majority of the game. He did give out some energy shields to Zippy, but now it seems like he got way more.
Way too slow.
Than Zippy in this game. So now it feels like Corinthians might willingly be letting go of this hurdle, or they might be entrusting it to Flick and Hesu because they have other things in mind, but they no longer will contest. They just allow Upatizi to secure the turret instead.
Corinthians have just been playing so smart. SOD lands.
Oh, are they gonna fight?
Doesn't look like they need to. They will take it just for a faster rotation. Yeah, Corinthians, they're just playing it so smart. Even there, they didn't want to go for the engage. They're just playing it super disciplinedly, playing super intelligently. Hesu, caught in the bad spot, has the Vengeance, will use it. It's a turret for Turtle, so I would actually say it's worth it for Corinthians.
Yeah, they're probably banking on the idea that it will work best, considering that they're with a Zetian mid, if they get to include Upatizi in the rotation, so they have a bit more of damage source whenever they try to go for the setup. But Flick, he might just actually be taken down here. He wasn't supposed to be there, and look at that, this big fifth crack combo coming in from Boye. Louis is next to fall. But Corinthians, they're doing their best to hold on this mid lane turret.
You hate to see the puncture get cancelled, or even the puncture missing straight out. Flick had no way to escape. The Phantom Execution could have been a way to jump and to run. But remember, MythicSeal have a ton of very small displacements that make it very difficult for Lancelot to pop the Phantom Execution. Mainly, that shoulder bash from the Phoveus, Spear of Misery from Zippy, yada yada with Nico too. And this Phoveus is really taking control of the game right now, but I don't know if he's going to survive a 1v3.
He's taking so much attention, and now they try to burst him down. Ken is nearby though, and they don't know it. Upatizi fortunately has the flicker, so he gets to survive, but that was a close call. And still, they don't get to take down Kun. Nico, nearby, using the lantern flares. There was the ejector trying to save Hesu, but then the Crimson Beacon was also committed. So at least they get to keep everyone safe.
MythicSeal now the ones playing it incredibly slow and clinical. They're no longer the team we saw in game number 1 in the lead, while being in the lead. Maybe LaFell was right. Maybe they just got to start off behind, and then they'll come back with discipline. So far, that's been the name of the game. SMB goal difference, look at that. 762 goal lead on the Phobius. There are ways to beat the CC in lane, and Kun is doing it. Curtain call baited out.
Kun is showing us how, but Flick tries to go for Ken actually. This is actually the first time they get to take a kill away, or the second time they get to take a kill away from Kun, but this break this crowd again. Upatizi in danger, but still finds the double kill. Upatizi gets taken out too though, so that's a 2-for-1. But the turtle fight's still going on.
Canceled out, electrifying beats, now the Phantom execution as well. Turtle reset! Nico in the midst of it all, Flick wins out the red tree, and Nico will fall to Jesus yo-yos as the curtain call locks him down. MythicSeal, while being in the lead again, some odd initiations, overextending Kun without Flicker 1v1.
I'm surprised they're actually able to win out the prolonged team fights even without Upatizi. Like Corinthians Esports, they were able to proceed, I think, just regroup, reset for a moment, not a full reset even, then proceed with the fight. And that was all the while Upatizi was down. So it's an interesting way that they were able to deal with the fight. I think we'll be seeing that in this instant replay.
Yeah.
So they've been trying to target down Kun, and they've been successful in doing so, again at the expense of Upatizi. But who would have thought they'd be the ones actually able to fight longer?
I think it just comes down to them being too split up at the start. They went in 1 by 1. MythicSeal, hold up.
Are they gonna go for this? Oh wow! Ken could barely move. Flicker used supposedly
Nice
to
reaction.
Kun. Yes, but that was committed onto Hesu. Nonetheless, still a pick-off for Corinthians Esports, but they're still struggling to convert into objectives.
Back to my point earlier, I think for MythicSeal, they just fall into habits, bad habits, so fast. Like, they would come back, they would be behind, and then they'll be like, all right, we've got to play discipline. Once they win, they go back to be like, oh, I'm just going to walk up like this. You know, they deal damage, but I was able to 1v3 earlier, so I can do it again.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different, especially because, God, you didn't have Flicker. You had Flicker the first time when you 1v3'd. Kun just took too much in the turtle fight earlier, and it became too chill, yo.
They can't forget about the small things.
They really can. When you're starting the fight alone with a quarter of HP, as the main front line at this point of the game, you need to be a bit healthy.
Okay, Zippy might be sensing danger here, by the way. Upatizi is not alone, but Zippy, he actually hesitates, doesn't go for the recall just yet, and Corinthians might be able to set up for this upcoming Lord.
Wow.
That's a fleeting time?
This is a utility Zetian. Frost La Neve has built a fleeting time. It's really just working a peel. Number 1, it's a peel for Upatizi. Second, that global ult for the stun. It's a utility Zetian as they go for the Lord.
Okay, SOD, that'll connect, that'll be a huge problem for, gets the last hit on the Lord, and the fight is still going. Kun might be traded down here, but Upatizi, very dangerous, will be the target for Zippy, but he goes for Hesu first, and still will be able to catch up somehow, but they need to commit the conceal. 3 members in exchange of only Kun and Upatizi. Now make that 4.
MythicSeal just need to be behind for them to win. They are behind, we're behind, and then they had a clinical fight around the Lord. Corinthians didn't know what hit them. The conceal cancel with the Dark Wave onto 2 was beautiful by Kun, and now Lantern Flare! Frost La Neve, remember, no damage. It's utility build, so defending this is gonna be quite hard.
That's why when they don't get to be or to pull off these successful setups, Corinthians Esports are definitely gonna struggle. Like, those ejector plays are gonna be very important. Those targets are gonna be very important. But now what's more important is the way they're able to defend this objective, this Lord. They've already lost all of their holy shields, and that'll mean a lot for MythicSeals, who were sort of on the seesaw for this game.
It's been a roller coaster of a game here. Back and forth, damage dealt ranking. It's still, wow, Upatizi, and despite the fleeting time, still Frost La Neve. Hey, you know what? Never mind, he does deal damage. Hey, maybe fleeting time is just the way to go. Maybe that just adds into the damage because you can spam your ult a bit more, and then it leads up to more damage.
Maybe that's where it's coming from. If
That
you
might
get to
be where
use
it's
it
coming
every
from.
now and then.
Yeah. Skypiercer though for UpaTZ, it's at an all-time low. It's not looking real good right now. Conceal does feel like a desperate one, and even they're confused. They pop a Conceal and they're like, wait, we shouldn't be going in. 70 seconds on the Lord. There's no reason for us to conceal.
There's no information either. All the waves are synced in top, mid, and bot, but you see no one from MythicSeal, so you have no way to guarantee that you could actually go for something near the Lord pit. Very questionable for Corinthians
Yeah.
Esports. So it seems like MythicSeals are still able to hold their ground and not do anything because they know that they shouldn't do anything or need not to do anything.
I think if MythicSeal sees that replay, they're just gonna be like, oh, okay. Because that was one of the conceals of all time. Now this is a conceal.
Okay, the SOD
Oh, they
doesn't
jump on
land.
Upa!
And there's the Fury of the Phoenix in an attempt to stop them in their tracks. But multiple members get stunned by MythicSeals. Hesu and Luis, the front liners are down. They get to take out
Zippy?
Gundo, but Zippy, what a brave attempt from the gold laner of MythicSeals. Easily gets taken down too.
Oh man, that was so unfortunate. I don't know if Upa targeted that because I think it did, you know, because it only goes to the target that's visible. He didn't go for the shot straight onto Zippy. That might have killed him, might have not, again. But hey, in the end, that was worth it for MythicSeal. They lost Kun for the price of Luis and Hesu, but they're not actually blitzing the Lord. As long as the Lancelot's still alive, they still have a shot. That's a fist crack.
Oh, a beautiful catch. Ken was brought down to almost 60% in that sequence, though, and they know the resources that were used. So that might mean a lot for Corinthians Esports now that they've been able to all catch up in this potential Lord fight. So is Kunzo.
Zippy, oh my lord.
Oh, look at the damage from Zippy. They get to receive that curtain call, however, and the Fury of the Phoenix does a great job. Oh! Corinthians Esports actually get the objective, but will they be able to make it out alive? That is going to be the question. Hezu doing his best to delay, but they lose 4 members in the process. It's only Luis standing alone.
And the Lord will spawn up top. As long as MythicSeal time it right here, it's going to spawn in and they will not have to deal with the Lord. 15 seconds on Foslanebe. There you have it. They wait for it and they will have the route to go for the equalizer.
They went for the flicker and they gain access to the base. It seems like Group A indeed is becoming very competitive. We're heading into another game.